students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we start with exercise 5.2. The first question is we need to fill we have to fill in the blanks. Okay. Now they given A as 7, D equals to 3, N equals to 8, and AN equals to question mark. Okay, so let us write that one. So here we have here A equals 7, D equals 3, N equals to 8. Okay. And what we need to find out? We need to find out AN. So we need to find out AN. So to find AN. So next, we know formula for AN. What is the formula for AN? We have, so AN, we know that AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Correct? So now let's substitute the values. So for A, I'm going to write it as 7. And then plus we have the bracket open. N value is 8. 8 minus 1 into D. D value is 3. Okay. In the next part. So now we have 7 plus, what is 8 minus 1? It is 7. 7 into 3. Right, children? In the next part, we have the next step. So I'm going to write it as equals to. So 7 plus 7 threes are, 7 threes is something like 21. So 21 plus 7 will give you 28. Right, children? So our answer is 28. Right? Now let's move on to the second question. So in the second question, we need to find out D. So first we shall write down what is given here. Okay. So here we have A as minus 18, and then we have N value as 10, and then AN. So we need to find out, here we have AN as 0, right? So we have AN as 0. Now what we need to find out? To find D. Okay, children? So now, as usual, let us write the formula. We know that An is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Okay. So for that, excuse me. Now here, what is An? An is given to be 0, right? So let's write 0 equals to. So 0 equals, and then what is the value of A? A value is minus 18. So minus 18 plus, here I write what is N value? N value is 10. 10 minus 1 into D. Okay. So I'm going to write, see, you have to make sure that write all the items according in order. Okay. And equal should lie below equals only. Okay. So the alignment should be proper. And the next thing. Now here I'm going to write 0. Right. Okay. So 0 equals to minus 18 plus 10 minus 1 is 9. So 9D. In the next step. So then we have 18, I'm going to transpose it to the left hand side. So that means to say 18 comes to the left hand side. So minus 18, when it moves to the left hand side, it becomes plus 18 and then 90. Okay, let me show you. So here, so minus 18, it moves to the left hand side. So it becomes plus 18. Next, what is value of D then? So D will be equal to 2, right? Because D equals 18 by 9. And so you get it as 2, or it's equal to D equals to 2. Okay. Now we move on to the third question. So we have like this. Here, when they put A as dot 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 means first term we need to find out. And what else they are given? So given they are given D is -3, N is 18, number of terms, and N is a N that given instead of they are given it as -5. Okay, so let us write the given data. So here we are given D equals -3, then N equals 18, then we have AN, correct? So what is AN is equal to? AN is given to be -5. Now what we need to find out? We need to find out A value. A, correct? As usual, we shall write the formula, AN formula. Okay. So we know that AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Let's substitute the values what is known to us. Okay. So here we have AN value. I can substitute as -5. So -5 equals A value. Do you know the value of A? A, I don't know. So just I keep as it is plus N value. N value is 18 minus 1 into D value is -3. So here, when you write -3, make sure that you have to enclose brackets. Okay, so always ensure that, excuse me, you should make sure that always enclose the negative sign, negative numbers with brackets. Okay, so here in this situation, you have to enclose with bracket. Okay, now let's move to the next step. So what will happen in the next step? See, let's see. Now -5 will be as it is equals A plus 18 minus 1. So what is 18 minus 1? It is 17, correct? So 17 into, then I have -3, okay? Then we have -5 equals to A plus 17 into -3 is -51. So -51, I write like that, okay? In the next step, we have, so now I transpose this -15 to the LHS. So -15 plus 51 equals to A. Excuse me. So that means -51, when it moves to the LHS, it becomes +51. So that's why -5 plus 51 equals to A. Now let's do the subtraction. So -51 plus -5 plus 51 will be equal to how much? So here we can write it as A equals 46. So that's our final answer. Okay, children, right? Now we move on to the fourth question. So here, what is given? Let's write down. So here A equals minus 18.9. Then here we have D, the common difference, which is 2.5. And then we have AN. So what is the AN value? AN value is, it is 3.6. So here one specialty of this problem is that it's involving decimal point. So you should be very careful about that. Now what we need to find out? So we need to find N. So we need to find out N. Okay, children. Now we have to write the formula, our usual formula. We know that N is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. So we have AN value. AN value I'm going to substitute. So we have AN as 3.6. 3.6 equals A value are written as minus 18.9 plus. And then do you know the value of N? I don't know the value of N. So just I keep it as it is. Then what is D value? D value is 2.5. Okay. Next, you're going to transpose minus 18.9 to LHS. So let us write that. So 3.6 plus 18.9 equals to n minus 1 into 2.5. Okay. Now, 18.9 plus 3.6 should give you 22.5. So this will give you 22.5 equals n minus 1 into 22.5. Okay. In the next step. So what I'm going to write is, let me write here, I'm going to write like this here. I'm going to write as 22.5 divided by 2.5 equals n minus 1. So here 2.5 comes to the denominator. Okay. The next, what we have to do is, we need to remove the decimal point. Here we have decimal point, correct children? So what we have to do is, I tell you one trick. So just you multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. For one decimal point, there are one decimal places in both numerator and denominator. So I'm going to multiply it by 10. Suppose if there are two decimal places, you should multiply it by 100. Three decimal places, it should be 1000. So now here only one decimal point is there in the both numerator and denominator. So I'm going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. So 2.5 into 10 here all. Okay. So when you do like that, so we can remove the decimal point. So 22.5, we get it as 225 divided by 25 equals to n minus 1. Then what is 225 by 25? It is 9, correct children? So let us write that. So 9 equals n minus 1. Or we can write it as what? 9 plus 1 equals to n. So that means, what do you mean by that? Finally. So finally we can write that n equals to 10. Okay. So this is our final answer. Now I move on to the fifth question. So here what we have here, we have a equals 3.5. Then we have d equals to 0. Then we have n equals to 105. And I need to find out an, correct? So to find, an, so let's write the formula for an. We know that an equals a plus n minus 1 into d. Then after this, let us write the step. Or do you know the value of an? An I don't know as it. So just let us write as it is. An equals, what's the value of a? A is 3.5, correct? Then plus, then we have n as 105 minus 1 into d value is how much? D value is 0. Okay. Then I can write an equals, so we get it as 3.5 plus 105 minus 1 into 0. So the whole thing becomes 0. So here remember one thing, whenever you have anything multiplied by 0, everything becomes 0. So the whole of it becomes 0. So it will be nothing but you have 0. 3.5 plus 0 should give you as n as 3.5 only. So write it as, let's write n as 3.5. Isn't it easy? Right now, children. Now we move on to the next question. So here we have the multiple choice question. The 30th term of an AP 1074 is dash. Okay, they're given like this: 1074 dot 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 is 97, 77, minus 77, and minus 87. So now for this, let us write down. I'm going to take it in next page better. Okay, now what is given? Let us write out here. So here we have The first term, A is 10, correct children? So we have 10, that is the first term. Then we have D. What is the D is common difference. So common difference is 7 minus 10. Second term minus first term, it is 7 minus 10 should give you minus 3. Then we have number of terms. See at n you should take it as 30 because that as you need to find out the 30th term. So take it as 30. Okay. And then now we have to write like this to find. What we need to find out? The 30th term, right? So we need to find out 30th term. So 30th term is nothing but it is equal to A30, right? So let us write that A30. Now we write as usual our formula. So we know that an equals a plus n minus 1 to d. Okay. Now, wherever n is there, substitute with 30. So n I write it as 30. Then what is 10 children? 10, this one a is 10, right? The first term a is 10. So I'm just substitute with a with 10. And n value is 30 minus 1 into d. D value is how much? D value is minus 3. So as I told you earlier, make sure that you enclose it with bracket. So whenever any number involved with minus sign or any variable with minus sign, you should enclose it with bracket. Okay. Then next step equals to 10 plus 30 minus 1 is 29. 29 into minus 3. Okay. It's equal to 10. 29 into minus 3 is how much? Minus 87. So it should give you minus 77. It's equal to minus 77. So now what is our option? Correct option is minus C. This one, option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. Now I take the next question. Now here, 11th term, we need to find out 11th term of an AP. Minus 3, minus 1 by 2, 2, so on is. So 11th term we need to find out here. So what is given? Here A equals. What is A equals to? Minus 3. That is the first term. First term is minus 3. Then we have D equals to. D equals to second term minus first term. That is minus 1 by 2. Then minus of minus 3. Okay. Because see minus 1 by 2 is the second term, minus first term is the definition of common difference. So minus 1 by 2 minus of minus 3. It will give you as minus 1 by 2 minus of minus should give you plus. So it should be plus 3, right? But 3 again, I can write it as 3 by 1. I write it as 3 by 1 and we can do the cross multiplication to solve this fraction. Okay. So 2 into 1 is 2 and here minus 1 into 1 is minus 1 plus 6, right? So it should give you how much? It will give you 5 by 2, correct? And then what else they given? They given number of terms. You take n as 11, right? So take n as 11. Why 11? Because we need to find out 11th term. That's why. So to find, what we need to find out? 11th term. 11th term is A11. Now, let's write the as usual formula. We know that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 to d, correct? Now, I have wherever n is there, just place it with 11, right? So, a11. Then a11. Then what is the value of a? A value is minus 3. And here it is 11 minus 1 into d value. So what is d value? It is 5 by 2. Let's write 5 by 2. I'm going to put brackets also for this. In the next step, we have minus 3 plus, then we have 11 minus 1 is how much? 10 into 5 by 2. Or it's equal to minus 3 plus, now 10 and 2, they get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 fives are, right children? So we can cancel that. 2 ones are 2 fives are. So 5 fives are 25. Or minus 3 plus 25 should give you how much? It will give you 22 is our answer. So which is the option now? So option B is the correct one. So option B is right. Okay, children. Now we move on to the next question. The question says, in the following AP, find the missing terms in the box. Okay. We have the first question like this. 2 box 26. Okay. So the first step, what we have to write is, let the missing term be x. So let the missing term be x. Now, we know that in an AP, A2 minus A1 equals to A3 minus A2, correct? That is second term minus first term is equal to third term minus second term. Okay. In the next step, so now A2 minus A1. So let us write this, what and all given here. A1, A2, A3. Now box, you take it as X. Okay. So now, so that is X minus 2. X minus 2 equals to 26 minus X. Okay. Then I move minus X to the LHS. Okay. So which is that? Let me show you. Move this minus X to the LHS. So we get it as X plus X will give you 26, and this minus 2 will move to the right hand side. Okay, so minus 2 move to the right hand side. So we write it as plus 2. And then x plus x should give you 2x. 2x equals 26 plus 8. 26 plus 2 is 28. And then how much it is? Or x is equal to 28 by 2. 28 by 2 is equal to 14. Okay. So the required AP is, so the required AP is how much? 2, 14, 26. Okay. So this is our answer. Now we move on to the second question. Now here, what is given? Let us write down. Okay. So what and all given? So first, let's write like this. I just indicate with like the A1, A2, then we have A3, then A4, correct? So what is given, let us write it. Here, A2 is, so what is A2 is going to be? A2 is 13. Then we have A4. So A4 is going to be 3, right? So A4 equals to 3. And then what do we need to find out? We need to find out A, right? So A is equal to question mark. And then we have A3. A3 also is question mark. Right, children? Okay. Next. Now we write the formula. We know that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 to d. Okay. Then the same formula, just copy it. I'll just show you the substitution, how we are going to substitute. So where n is there, just write 2. So a2. Now what will a2 become? A2 becomes a plus n minus 1. That is 2 minus 1 into d. Okay. In the next step, what is A2 value? A2 value is 13. So let us write that 13 equals A plus 2 minus 1 is how much? 1. 1 into D is D. So that's why A plus D will be the first equation. Okay. The next one, we have also the same equation you just copy. Okay. I just copy the same equation to show the substitution part. So I want A4 value. So A4 means, so A4, wherever n is there, just substitute 4. A plus 4 minus 1 into D. Okay. Now A4 value, what is A4 value? It is 3, right? So 3 equals A plus 4 minus 1. What is 4 minus 1? It is 3. 3D. Okay. Now I called as equation 2. So here is equation 1, here is equation 2. Okay, equation 1 and this is equation 2. Next one. Now what I do is I'm going to write 2 minus 1. Now 2 minus 1. When you do 2 minus 1, see what happens. Here LHS minus LHS. LHS minus LHS is nothing but 3 minus 13. Okay, write that. 3 minus 13 equals 2. And on the right hand side, we have a minus a plus 3d minus, and make sure that you use brackets here always, minus, then we have a plus d, right? Minus a plus d. What is 3 minus 13? Should give you minus 10. Minus 10 equals a plus 3d minus a minus d. Now here a and a gets cancelled. We get it as minus 10 equals how much? It will be 2d, right? 3d minus d is nothing but 2d. Okay. Or what is d is equal to? 2 other 2 5s are. So d is equal to minus 5, right? Minus sign is there. That's why you should put d as minus 5. Okay. Now in the next step, what are it is? Substituting the value of substituting the value of b equals minus 5 in 1, we get it as. So here I have that in 1. So let us take that equation 1, children. So we have 13 equals a plus d, correct? So I'm going to put d as minus 5, okay? Minus 5. Or minus 5 move to the other side. It becomes what? 13 plus 5 equals to a, or what it is? Or a equals 18, okay? Now, next thing, what we need to find out? We have to find out A3, correct, children? So A3 we need to find out. So now what is A3 is equal to? A3 is nothing but A plus 3 minus 1 into D, correct? Or it's equal to A is how much? A is 18 plus 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is nothing but 2 into D value is how much? D value is minus 5, correct? See here is minus 5. See here we got D as minus 5. So I'm going to write that minus 5. Or it's equal to 18 minus 10 should give you has how much? 18 minus 10 will be 8. So A3 is equal to 8. Right, children? Okay. And you can go through the videos once again in order to get a full clarification of the problems. Okay. Right, children? Now we move on to the next question. I have 5 box 9 9 1 by 2. Okay. So what is given? Let us write down this. Now here we have A1, A2, A3, and A4. So here, what is A1? Excuse me. A1 equals, so what is the value of A1? A1 is A, it's also A, which is nothing but 5. Then we are also given A4, right? So A4 is given to be how much? 9 1 by 2. 9 1 by 2. This is nothing but, now convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So I got right like this 2, and here 9, this one 2 into 9, 2 into 9 plus 1 should give you as 2 nines are 18. 18 plus 1 is how much? 19. This 19 by 2, correct? Then what is given? What do you need to find out? We need to find out A2 and A3, correct? So let us write down A2. A2 is question mark, and then we have which one? A3 also question mark. Okay. Now let us write a formula. So we know that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 to d, correct? Now I am going to take the same formula, do substitution. Now an, so now we have a4. Instead of n, I write it as 4 now. A4 is equal to a plus 4 minus 1 into d. Then in the next step, we have What is A4 value? A4 value is 19 by 2. I copy the same formula just to for substitution purpose. I'm just showing you. Now what is A4 value? A4 is 19 by 2 equals. What is A value? A value is 5. 4 minus 1 2. D value is how much? D value is D value we need to find out. Okay. There. I'm going to write as it is. No changes. The next step 4 minus 1 will becomes 3. Okay. And now if I shift this 5 to the left hand side, it becomes what? So 19 by 2 minus 5 equals to 3D. Okay. Or do the cross multiplication method and get the answer now. Okay. So I'm going to write like this. Now here this becomes denominator becomes 2. Numerator becomes 19 minus 10 equals to 3D. How we get 10? See here 19 by 2 and here it is 5 by 1. Right? Now 2 ones are and then we have 19 into 1 and then we have 2 into 5. So 19 ones is 19, 2 into 5 is 10 and 2 into 1 is 2. Okay. And what is this one? 19 minus 10 is how much? 9. So I'm going to write it as 9 by 2 equals 3D. Okay. And then here you can do the cancellation. See, when you do cancellation, numerator, numerator, and denominator, denominator, we can do the cancellation like that. So now I can cancel numerator, numerator, 3 ones are, 3 threes are. So that means to say you get D as 3 by 2 because numerator you're left with 3. So I'm going to write it as 3 by 2. Okay. So we got the value of D as 3 by 2. Next part. Now we need to find out A2 and A3. So what is A2 now? A2 is nothing but A plus D, correct? That's the first term plus common difference. What is the value of A? A value is 5. 5 plus. What is D value? D value is 3 by 2. It's equal to. Now do cross multiplication method to get the answer. So when you do this, so we have like this here. The denominator you have 2. Now 5 2s is 10. 3 1s is 3. Right? So this becomes, see here how we get this one. Let me tell you once again. So I'm going to write it as 5 by 1. Correct? Now 1 into 2 is 2. Right? And then 5 into 2 is 10. And 1 into 3 is 3. Okay? It is nothing but 13 by 2. Okay. Then we have A3. Let us find out A3. So what is A3 is equal to? A3 is A plus 2D. Correct, sir? Now I write like this equals to A is 5. 5 plus 2 into D into. So D is how much? 3 by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. You'll be left out with 5 plus 3, which will give you 8. Right? See here, 2 and 2 gets cancelled here. Let us show that 2 and 2 gets cancelled. We get 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. Any doubts? Okay, fine. I move on to the next question. Now we have like this minus 4 box, 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 and 6, right? So now what is given? What need to find out? Let us see. Here we have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, then A6, right? Then here, so here A1 equals A, which is nothing but -4. Then we have A6. So what is A6 is equal to? We have A6 equals to 6. And then what we need to find out? We need to find out A2. A2 is question mark, correct? So we have A2 as question mark. Then we have A3 also question mark. And then we have A4 also question mark. And then we have A5 as question mark. Then we write a formula. We know that n is equal to A plus n minus 1 to D, correct? Now we substitute A6 for n is equal to 6. So we have A6 is equal to A plus 6 minus 1 into D. Then what is A6? A6 is going to be 6, correct, children? So 6 equals A plus 6 minus 1 is 5, 5 into D. And A value is how much? A value is -4. First term is -4. And then the next step, what I can do is I can write it as 6 minus 4. You transpose it to the left hand side, it becomes +4. So 6 plus 4 equals to 5D. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 equals 5D. Or D equals how much? You can directly do the cancellation. Okay. So instead, I can do like this on the cancellation. 5 ones are 5 twos are. Okay. So that means D equals how much? D equals 2. Okay. Then we have, now we can write this like this. Now what is A2 value? A2 is equal to A plus D. A plus D is nothing but -4 plus common difference is 2. So it will be equal to how much? It will be -2. Okay. Then we have A3. A3 is equal to A2 plus D. The second term plus common difference. That is -2 plus 2 should give you 0. Right? Then we have A4. A4 is equal to A3 plus D. That is 0 plus 2, which will give you 2. And then we have A5. A4 plus D, which is equal to 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4.